All right then. Welcome to the 10-minute live spark with your girl Olivia, founder of Campus Insights. And we got my boy, the Energizer Educator, Rodrick Johnson is in the house.
We
Also
in the house.
one of our keynote presenters at the Spark Curiosity EDU Conference. And we got my girl, Dr. Tamika Gavin on via Tennessee, representing the principals in Alaska.
Hey, hello everyone.
Well, today's session is special because tomorrow marks the first annual, okay, because it's going to be another one.
The first
annual Spark Curiosity EDU Conference going down in Austin, Texas. And I am just so excited that the opportunity to help energize just a few teachers. It's going to be intimate. It's going to be small, but
mighty.
They're going to get a spark. And I would love to hear your take, either Tamika or Rodrick, on what is the significance of a spark and why the connection between spark and curiosity? Because it's something kind of unseen. I want to kind of go deeper into this.
Yes. Go deep. Can I start? Do you guys mind if I jump on in?
Go
I
on
need
in
to
there.
say this as a seasoned educator, as a school leader, as a superintendent intern. Those are some of my credentials and background. So I'm very into the education theme, if you will. I will say this: what you have, Olivia, is exactly what's missing in education. I can't tell you how many times kids tell me they don't feel confident or they're not excited. They're just not excited. So, with this conference, what I'm seeing, I see teachers coming, getting inspired. And I think that what you're going to have is teachers going to be able to have not just another tool, but they're going to now have something that most educators won't have, which is the sauce. You have the sauce, Olivia. That's what I think of you. You are the sauce. Every time I think of what you are putting out into the world, this is just the beginning. And when you said first conference, I wanted to jump in and say first of many, because I'll tell you this, a lot of teachers don't have that curiosity part down pat. They don't understand how do I get this kid interested in this lesson, even if it's a scripted lesson, because now that's the pushback that we get as educators, as leaders. Well, it's a scripted lesson, but Olivia can show you how to do all of that. She can show you this is what I am so excited for this conference. I can barely contain myself, but I'm gonna let somebody else jump in because my excitement is gonna get me to shouting because we've been missing this in the field of education for far too long. All right, that's my little part on it.
Go ahead, preach.
Yes.
Preach, Reverend
Dr. Gavin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr.
So
Johnson.
I think that the significance of a spark is also the significance of a dream, right? And so dreams hold significant portions of our lives, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. And it's more than just understanding. It's images that create meaning even while you sleep. So the idea of a spark, it talks about movement. It talks about understanding and digesting the things that are what you know to do. So instead of saying I'm giving you a big delicious dinner, what I'm giving you is an appetizer. Because what you want educators to do is you want them to be hungry for the whole meal. You don't want them to come and say, oh, I'm just getting all of this information and can't do with it. No. Science says that when we give teachers action steps, we give them bite-sized pieces. So the spark is that bite-sized piece that people will get once they come into this space. And then the dinner, right, is what they do in that classroom when they see the results, when those students get curious and want more. That's what this conference is about. That's what the energy is going to be about. I can't wait till I touch down. I am so excited. Keynoting. I'm practicing my speech in the car, on the plane. I'm practicing everywhere. I am ready with a double D and a double I. If I can fly out right now, I will fly out. But the airport got guidelines. But I'm just letting you know that when I touch down, I'm going to spark the place up.
Come on now. Come on. I like what you said about a dream.
OMG.
We lost her. We lost the provider. We
He
lost the
said a lot.
process.
Hold on a second. Okay, there you go. You said about a dream. You like what he said about a dream? Her connection.
What you want me going? Because I can go in a little bit more about dreams now if you want. Now, some of the history greatest inventions and artistic masterpieces were born in dreams. Huh? Einstein, dream, reality, understanding experiences. Dreams help cement the lessons of the day. And it just takes us a minute to slow down for a second, right? And really understand the significance of what we're doing. And I always say dream because sometimes it's our subconscious self that feeds the conscious self. So what we're going to do is we are going to spark. And spark is igniting something, right? So it's something that is innate within you. So we're not giving you new information. We're giving you the right information to unlock the curiosity that you already have. Come on now.
How about this? Unlock your potential. Because I feel that one of the reasons our business has focused on curiosity-based strategies is that kids have this potential in them, but they're like sitting there just waiting on someone to spark it, waiting on someone to see something that they don't see in themselves. But if we always follow a script that doesn't think about our children's backgrounds, doesn't think about their interests, doesn't think about their realities, you cannot spark them because the curriculum is disconnected from students. So it is disconnected from, especially urban kids.
But what I want to say about curriculum is curriculums are just the tool used. Curriculums are not instruction. And I tell teachers this all the time. They want to battle up against the curriculum. It's not the curriculum that's going to save the day. It's your instruction that's going to save the day. So when you touch down in Texas and you come in to get some good seeds of inspiration, just remember that what you take away is going to form the instruction, and you use the curriculum as breadcrumbs to really understand and move the needle to make sure that children, no matter what their socioeconomic background, cultural background, your socioeconomic background, how you were trained, all of it will be caught and attained through a spark.
I want to quote that one. I see you on a commercial for me. Through a spark. I already see the commercial.
Because we always try to make these big dinners, and sometimes you just need a piece of something just to get you there, right? You don't always need just a little taste.
Right? I mean, some places you go and you be like, can I get a little
Let
sample?
me just know if the restaurant.
You get a little sample and it exposes you to a whole
That's what I'm
world.
saying. A whole new world. You know? Like I
somebody gave me a little rosé one time. One time I had a little rosé one time. And that rosé one time, I was like, I'm a rosé.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down a little more. When you celebrate, what you take? A shot. Huh? Yes. You don't need the whole beverage.
No.
You getting a shot of inspiration. My God, on tonight.
Oh my God. And tomorrow night, the venue we have is so intimate. I don't know. Have you seen the pictures of the venue?
I feel like I've been there because I've been in the pictures. I mean, you know how you zoom in and see the back and try to figure out. I'm in there like, girl, I'm gonna stand right there and get the perfect picture. Like I done got my hair cut. I'm ready.
And we're gonna have a nice photo booth set up where people can take pictures with the Spark and the Spark Curiosity logo in the background. And we're gonna have some barbecue from Texas Barbecue. And we also are going to have some curiosity questions so that we can connect with the people in the room. But I'm really excited about showing my Juneteenth video. I spent a little time creating this, not just to show history, but to show how today connects to yesterday. I think that's another thing with history and curiosity too, is like sometimes we're looking at something, but we don't see how it relates to us today. And I think that's what education is missing. We are teaching kids things and they feel like they're not a
No.
part of it. But we have to make it relevant, not just how does this affect you today? And I think Juneteenth, oh my goodness, it's
But
deep. I like to go deep because we missing deep, but deep doesn't mean complex.
deep doesn't also mean confusion. Deep can make it clear, make the process connect. See, what happens is when we try to go too deep and get into the jargon of things, we lose our children because this is something they're experiencing for the first time. And so when they experience, it's important to make it as clear and concise as possible. And that is what happens to make sure that kids connect the neurons. It's all about the neurons connecting. It's not about us pontificating and standing on a lecture pole. It's about us making a clear connection so we can maintain a focus. And we maintain a focus, their behavior changes, their posture changes, their confidence changes, and we do better at our jobs and make lasting connections. If we're not doing that, then we're doing nothing.
So what I heard you say was the connection is a concept. When kids can connect to a concept, it connects in their brain to retain the information. But what's happening in so many classrooms, children have no concept of what they're doing. I saw kids doing some division because I go around and I observe a lot of classrooms. And I'm in this math classroom and I'm looking at this student just writing numbers down. They're just writing numbers. And I just asked them a simple question. What is the concept of division to you? How would you explain it to someone? And they basically said, I don't have an idea.
They don't, because we're not explaining.
What's the idea? The ideal is you're just making equal groups. That's it. But if you can't even put that in your brain. But you
can't conceptualize what you don't know and don't understand, because guess what? We are teaching curriculum and not skill. And that's the problem. So y'all get down to this conference. I didn't probably went over Olivia's timeline. Now I can stay here all day.
And listen, you know what? The only reason I'm going over today is because this is what we've been building up to. We've been building up to this, and I just think sometimes we look at how conferences have thousands of people, but everything started with a spark. Mostly every conference started with maybe 10 people, 20 people who got together. And they decided to do it, and they had a movement. And I think it's time for us to have a movement. This is not just about us coming together, getting a couple PD credits. This is about making a shift, a mental shift in how we deliver content.
And we have to make that
the focus needs to be on discovery before delivery.
It's important.
That's one of our slogans. Discovery before delivery. And it's like, okay, well, how do I do this? Because this is not being taught at the college level in teaching prep groups. They're not.
You don't want me to go there because I can go there.
And you working on your
You don't
PhD,
want me to go there because see what's happening in our teacher programs is that we are not teaching child psychology for us to understand how to get concepts into their heads. We are being taught rote instruction and how to navigate through the complexity of curriculum, but we're not being able to sit and say, this is how you teach a child. Back to your division example. We're not even going to the board and saying what division is. We're just giving them numbers and telling them to figure out. And we wonder why our students are perpetuating behaviors that are not susceptible for the schoolhouse. And so when you think about this whole thing, you wonder where this achievement gap came from. The achievement gap is intentional, obviously, because we are not getting our students ready for the realm of education. And that is all going to change tomorrow.
It's going to change tomorrow.
It's going to change tomorrow.
We're going to spark something tomorrow. And I also feel that, I'm an American. I was born and raised in America. I am a product of America education system. I've been in public school and I've been in private school. I've seen both aspects, but at the end of the day, I love learning, and I still didn't feel a teacher really tapped into my potential.
That's
Because I say to myself, I look in the mirror and I say, what could I have
yeah.
become if a teacher sparked my curiosity in the classroom
That's so
and
good.
tapped into my different
That's so good.
intelligences and spoke to me like I was
That's
already
so good.
somebody?
What could I become?
I wouldn't have had to figure it out all these years later. But
What could I become?
imagine being 12 and someone saying, you have a brilliant mind. I love the way you have a divergent thinking. You're able to come up with solutions that the average person can't come up with. And one day, my brother or my sister, you're going to come up with a solution that's going to help save millions of lives, or it's going to help save the environment, because we need problem solvers. We got so many problems going on, and it's scary when you go and talk to people and they can't solve basic problems. And you say to yourself, this is why the Spark Curiosity Conference, the Campus Insights organization exists, because I'm like, we have some problems. And we really, we got to stop all of these long journals, all of these thick workbooks you giving teachers on this process and that process, and you having 1 or 2 trainings, and all you're doing is talking to the teachers for 6 hours and expecting them to go back in the classroom and implement it. And all they doing is saying, who gonna do that? I'm not doing that. And then you say, oh, if they had implemented with fidelity, there's so many disconnections, because most of these curriculum designers are not in the classroom. They haven't even been teachers. They went and got a nice degree. They can write it. It looks so pretty on paper, but to actually implement it is a whole different mechanism. Why? Because you don't know the people in the room, and the people in the room determine their delivery. You got to know the people in the room. You got to know a little bit about their backgrounds. You got to know a little bit about their families. And yes, it's hard, but to me, it's harder to write referrals. It's harder to have outbursts in my classrooms. That to me is hard. But calling and finding out and finding out a little bit about people. And I'm telling you, I had some rough kids. And I started out substitute teaching. I don't know. I was actually going to a middle school that my niece and nephew were students at, because I saw them changing. And I was curious about, what's going on with them. They just acting so different. So I started substituting like 1 day a week at the school, and I didn't write nobody up. And the principal was like, can you come every day? I said, no, I got another full-time job, but it was a predominantly Black urban school. And they were like, we need more people like you. Like, I had empathy for the kids. I knew where they were from. I didn't know all of their parents and everything, but they respected me because I respected them.
And that's the first thing.
And sometimes that's the first step too. Like you gotta respect.
It's always the first
the kids,
step,
because they have their people. They're people, even though they're underage. They are people who are really looking for guidance.
Maya Angelou once said, people won't remember what you said or did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And what you just did was a manifestation of what exactly happens. And when we start with respect in the classroom, we start with human development, and we model what it looks like to be a citizen of this great nation with education at our hip, right? And if somebody, I love what you say, if somebody would have saw my potential, my God, if somebody would have just said, you have a spark, just imagine what kind of go-getter, what kind of confidence, what kind of exuberant energy you would give to the world. Wait a minute, am I talking to you? Or am I talking to me?
And what would happen, not only if teachers and principals and leadership could speak potential in their staff members, because their staff members, some people, they just got out of college. Some of them, all they know is school. They don't have any real life experience, and they're looking for you as the leader to speak their potential in them. And I know this from experience, from being a college student but always looking for the 10 in people around me. And there was a conference I was involved in, and I was in the finance committee, but we had just lost our treasurer. And there was a freshman, and we had went on a conference, and we were on the bus, and they had a meeting for the treasury department, the financial department. And I looked at him and I said, Dion, come on in here in this meeting with me, because you're going to be our next treasurer.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, what?
Uh-oh.
He's like, what you talking about?
Uh-oh.
He's like, I ain't gonna be the treasurer. He's like, I'm not gonna be the treasurer. But I spoke it to him. I said, you are going to be our next treasurer. And
that's beautiful.
He came in the meeting. He was inspired. That boy was our treasurer for 2 more years. Beautiful. And he excelled. Why? Because I saw it in him, though. And so sometimes, you might see somebody and you pushing that teacher down. Let that teacher grow, man. I see you developing professional developments for teachers all over the world. Let me send you to this conference. I want you to present those innovative ideas you're doing with the kids in there. I see you one day being a great instructional leader, leading this school we're in, but we don't know how to talk like this to each other. And when you talk like that, that also sparks curiosity. Because I bet he was like, ooh, I wonder what the treasurer position is. That's why I want you to come to this meeting, so you'll know what we're doing.
And you know where we're going to talk like that at?
Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, it's the 10-minute live spark. We are so sorry we went over time, but sometimes you need impromptu in your class, too. Everything don't need to be scripted. One day a week or one day a month. Have a 50 minutes, 45 minutes, and just say, children, I just want you to give me what ifs.
Yeah. Let them children dream. Let them children dream. Let them children dream.
Let them children dream.
You know what I mean? Let them children dream and create an alternative reality that is not yours. Because guess what? You don't have to live in that reality. Their reality is going to exist for way longer than yours with them is going to collide. Let them babies dream and understand their trajectory so that they can know themselves. That's what the spark it. You know what? I can't wait for tomorrow. We're going to be on here for another 3 hours. Olivia, close out this thing because I'm ready to start again.
All right. Well, I'm going to end with, just like we experience fears in life and we accept those fears as reality, we can experience our dreams in life. And I know that there's some teachers out there who dream of having and engaging, powerful learning experiences in their classroom with their kids, but they feel stressed out. They feel burnt out. They feel like, I'm looking, but I don't know where to go. I don't know the methods. I don't know the tools. And one of the reasons this conference, we're not having breakout sessions. We're having a curiosity classroom with teachers as our students, and we are the facilitators. We are the guides that will help teachers discover their potential, what they're capable of, and be able to access some tools and methods to get back your joy and to feel confident, because you can feel confident if you have the right instructional practices.
That's right.
But for far too long, we haven't focused on instructional practices. Right. We focused on content. We're focused on pacing guides. Right. We're focusing on behavior plans.
That's right.
But we're not focusing on the learning experience. And when you put your energy on that, whatever you focus on expands. So we're going to end it with another original song. We Will Spark You.
Let me turn on my girl because I'm going to sing.
That one? We Will Spark You. So we're going to turn that jam up.
You've got questions in your mind. Wait, read the ring for the right time. Curiosity burning inside, looking for a new way to find knowledge waiting to ignite. Push the boundaries, see the light. Learning's not just what they say, it's discovering your own way. We will spark you. Every day's a chance to grow. Things to learn you don't yet know. Breaking out of old routines, finding our learning means. Passion waiting to ignite. Push the boundaries, feel the light. Teach Inspiration is not just what we say, it's guiding on a brand new way. We will spark you.
So we're gonna spark them.
Spark the heart, spark the will
Spark the
play
mind.
our part. Spark the change, spark the flame. Education's not a game.
Spark the flame. Education is not a game. So it's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Energizer,
Yes,
Educator,
ma'am.
and the fearless
Yes,
educator.
ma'am. We just educators, ain't we? Ain't we good things like that?
Hey, hey, listen. We gotta have the energy, and we gotta be fearless. Why? Because we have to bring something different. The kids, they're looking for something. They're looking for us to spark something
That's right.
in them. They are.
That's right. That's right.
And most of us, we remember the teachers who sparked something
That's
in
right.
us. And it went beyond the lesson. So if you are listening and you're going to be with us in Austin, can't wait to meet you in person. And hopefully take a photo with you in the photo booth and not tomorrow night.
Y'all better take a photo with me up in that thing. I'm going to look good, I think.
All right. Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.